You're listening to the smartest guys in marketing, the best show on the planet for client businesses to learn about traffic, funnels, sales, conversions, and marketing coolness. Chris and Taylor are the founders of Traffic and Funnels, a digital marketing consultancy helping you get paid clients from cold traffic daily. Now, here are your hosts, Chris and Taylor.
What's up, boys and girls? Yeah. You got T-Money and C Nanny with you in the house.
In the hizzy.
For another life-altering, circumstance-transforming, money pouring into your bank account, creating.
Mind-bending.
What are we
exploding.
What are we talking about, dude? Tell us everything.
Today we are talking about security versus safety.
Hold up, bro. I just want you to know it's not your fault.
That I look so good?
In front of everyone watching, it's not your fault. Let it out.
Dude.
All right. Back to the show. We just had a moment.
You see my new chair?
Yeah, it's amazing, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to know what you've done in that chair since it's been delivered. But
magic.
Anyways, security versus safety. This is a big deal. We actually talk about this. The longer we've been in business, the more we talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And you want me to just tell the story?
Tell the story.
Brought this up?
Yeah, I want you to tell the story.
So last night, I was talking with a good buddy. I just left the gym. He's a good friend of mine. It's an old friend of mine.
Did you get swole?
Dude, I'm not going to lie. The guys at the gym are terrified of me. I don't even have to ask for the weights anymore. I just walk up and I go, ugh, and they just run away.
They rack them for you?
Yeah. And now I'm getting huge. But anyways, this guy called me and he's a great guy, super smart, works a day job. And long story short, he's kind of going through a period where he thinks he's gonna get let go from the day job, and he was just asking advice and some thoughts. And I started talking him through it, and he's in a tough spot. Like he's got a family and he doesn't have any other income on the side. He's been wanting to do his own thing for about 2 years, and just hasn't had the time for it. Hasn't made the time for it. And I was just thinking, and I called Chris, and I was like, dude, this is something we got to talk about. This idea of security. Security it's like a matrix. If you've seen the movie The Matrix, Matrix is this like alternate reality that people think is real, but it's not real. Ooh. And security is it's like a matrix. These people have the idea that if they keep doing what they don't want to compromise short-term security, even if compromising that short-term security would provide long-term security.
Yep.
And an example of this would be my buddy who's like, you've been wanting to start this thing for 2 years, but it's been busy. You haven't had time. The day job is just fine. It's paying the bills. And now I'm about to lose the day job. And all of a sudden you have this insecurity and instability. And it's a result of focusing on security and a lack of focus on true safety long-term.
Oof.
Just breaking this down for people,
Yeah. We come from that. We know what it feels like. And I think for us, it was a place where we wanted to control our situation and never be in that place again to where our quote security relied on another person.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like you can have security, but if that security depends on another person's choices, that's not safety.
Mm-hmm.
That's a veil. It's real. It looks real, but it's not real. A lot of times in our business, we will purposefully, let's just define security or like the lack of security as a lack of instability. Let's say security is stability. Stability is security. We will purposely inject instability. All right.
Here we go. Here we go.
Deep, guys. There are times in our business with our staff, with our clients, where we will on purpose know what we're doing, create instability because it forces us to create solutions that we know will produce long-term safety.
Yes.
All right. Can I get an amen?
Oh my gosh.
What does that look like? This might be the
best podcast we've ever recorded.
That looks like, hey, even though we're doing 10x on Facebook ads, we're going to try YouTube. Even though we're doing, we're rolling without a hitch with this staff, we're going to bring this person in. We're going to do things in our business that for the short term may create a little bit of instability, may decrease our security a little bit. But we know for the long term, they're going to produce safety for our staff, safety for our families, safety for our clients.
Yeah.
I just want to run around the building.
Dude, this is really good. And I think one thing that we've just we have come to expect turbulence and barriers and potholes and all these things that come with life and business. And sometimes we introduce those things into our business and into our lives so that we can live familiar with that stuff. And if you're familiar with it, you know that you can get through it and get to the other side. And so there's a confidence that we have, right? We have built up this resistance and this confidence to any issues that come along. We're going to fight through and figure it out and produce. End of the day, that is safety for the long term.
Yeah. Safety versus security. So let's bring this down. Let's bring it close to home.
Okay.
Because it sounds good. What we're saying, it sounds good, but how do people actually take this and integrate it into their lives? Well, the way you do this is by running what we call a comparative risk assessment in your business, in your life, whatever area you're trying to improve. You can take two activities, compare the risk associated with them, long-term versus short-term, and place them side by side. And most of the time, enable yourself to make a good decision. So let's give some examples. In the case of my friend, wanting to create that business on the side, even though he's involved with business, he's involved with church, he's got a family, he's got all these things going. Let's compare the risk assessment of starting the business and maybe losing a little bit of time, maybe going crazy for a couple months versus not starting the business and being in a place now where he's depending on someone else to pay his job. Which is the better decision?
Yeah, creating that second business.
Obviously. See how this just makes it a simple no-brainer. What about hiring that coach or hiring that consultant, even though they are expensive?
Yep.
All right. What's scarier? Losing 10 grand or 15 grand or whatever it is to get the solution that you know you need, or finding yourself 10 years from now still making the same amount of money, still working the same amount of hours, still stuck in the same problems? What's scarier?
Still hoping.
Still hoping. One day I'm going to make it. Mama, I promise I won't disappoint you for another decade.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's too close to home. I love you, Mom. Yeah. What's scarier? You got to compare the risk. You know, the short-term risk of maybe investing into another program or another coach. The short-term risk, yeah, it's risky. There's insecurity in that. There's lack of stability in that. But long-term, dude, it's very obvious, you know? And what I found is that people don't know how to utilize risk properly. You know, we've talked about this before, but risk is like you listen to guys like Ray Dalio and all these investors over billions of dollars. They view risk as an asset that you can manage properly, you'll run out of. And sometimes people are just afraid of risk. But what they don't realize is it's far riskier to not risk anything and stay stuck than it is to risk and move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I think one of the major problems people have going into this is they haven't figured out and discovered a value that they can offer to the world to kind of step into this. Because I imagine some people are asking like, oh, how do I do that? Like, how do I start a side business? How do I, move into that? Well, you have to discover a value that the world needs, right? For me, in my situation, I saw the potential. I got around people that were successful in business, in marketing. I got around them, surrounded myself around them. So I knew that it was possible for me. And then I just learned that stuff. And I acquired that expertise through a lot of labor, a lot of hard work. And now, we are where we are in our business. But that's a major step to getting there. Like, you have to acquire some kind of major value. And either that takes time or you can be accelerated by connecting with the right people, i.e. a consultant or an expert to mentor you.
Yeah, that brings up a good point about even what we do. When Chris and I started out, like, we were very on purpose about not just creating a program.
Yeah.
Or not just giving people information, because people have enough of it. But when people come in and they're on a call with maybe us or one of our team, and it sounds too good to be true, and it's like, they're like, this sounds risky because I can't see it in my head. It doesn't all make sense. Like, is this really real? Is this possible? When they get in, one of the first things that they're met with is that empowering environment. We force feed an empowering environment to our clients, and that alone produces increased returns. So you may think that earning $50,000 is a lot. You can't even see yourself earning $50,000 a month. Geez, it sounds like a pipe dream. And then all of a sudden, everybody you hang out with for 20, 25, 30 days is all making 50 to 100. And all of a sudden, it's like, how can I not make $50,000 a month? Like, and that's like actually a tangible change that happens for people.
Yeah. Yeah. So that leads to that next point is firing the friends who are not enabling you.
I'll tell you
Right?
what.
If everybody has triceps like Taylor,
These friends are my most enabling friends. I'm pointing at my triceps.
good
Sorry.
job, man.
Go ahead.
Everybody wants that, and so you should hang out with people like that. No, but it's true. If you're hanging out with people who they say, "Oh, Taylor, $50,000 a month, that's just not possible," or "Hey, losing X amount of weight and getting ripped, that's just not really possible. Nothing works." You're hanging out with the wrong people, man. I don't care if they're friends, family, whatever, right? And here's the thing, Taylor. Like, we have to make the point that you cannot avoid sacrifice to get to what you want. You cannot avoid sacrifice. Either you're going to be sacrificing your time or initially your money, but you have to pay your dues to get there. That's important to state. It might be feelings, might be your ego, might be your pride, but there will be a sacrificial lamb on the altar.
It's usually time or money. Those are the big two. You're either going to risk, sacrifice / invest your time, or risk / invest your money.
Yeah.
And what you guys got to realize, and what I told my buddy, and we'll wrap up, is that sometimes problems are the greatest gifts because they force us to think long term. They force us to solve things that we wouldn't otherwise have solved. They force us to fill in the gaps. And whenever a problem happens to us, which, dude, I just don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but the bigger you guys get, the more money you make, the more successful you become, the more problems you're going to face. Every single day, we've got major problems that we deal with. When I first started, I had a major problem once a month, then twice a month, now once a week, now once a day, now sometimes multiple times a day. And it's just like problems are friends. They force you to stop, look at how the system could improve, and things that tax the system improve the system.
Yeah. It's a requirement for you to be better.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool.
Like right now, the biggest problem is I'm just so much smarter than everyone else. I have like a hard time fitting in. I just want to fit in. I just want to be normal, Mom and Dad.
Hey, with that being said, you guys, if you like this and this helps you, share this podcast. Share the love. If you're not in the Smartest Guys in Marketing group on Facebook, get in there. And if you haven't gotten the memos, go to trafficandfunnels.com/memos and get that month.
And leave a review. And if you guys say that you like Taylor better than Chris, I will personally send you a little gift.
That is bull crap. He has never sent anybody a gift.
Well, I made this time. Leave us a review.
right.
That's how reviews are one of the greatest ways to show people that we're not a scam.
Reviews are the lifeblood of our business.
Oh,
all right.
man.
You guys are cool. See ya. Bye. Love you.
This is the podcastfactory.com.